Well, a very good evening to each and every one of you joining me, Ms. Belinda Scandal, here for this week's Your Manchester. I am flying solo as our Michelle has gone watching a musical called Everybody's Talking About Jamie down in London. She's checking out, it's going to be on tour, and we are going to be, over the next few weeks, getting some proper good exclusives. On today's show, we are talking Alzheimer's with Alzheimer's research, everybody. We're also talking to a wonderful guy about integrity wills and probate. And if that's not enough, we have also got a special exclusive from Junior Giscombe, bringing you a brand new song. Yes, the Junior Giscombe, coming your way very, very soon, only on Your Manchester. Make sure you subscribe and make sure you click on the dingle dongle. Our first guest is here today telling us about the wonderful, wonderful charity that is Alzheimer's Research UK. Now, Alzheimer's is, of course, very prevalent in all our minds at the moment, and with that in mind, how are you, Mr. McDermott?
Yeah, I'm alright, yeah.
Are you alright?
Yeah, I think, yeah.
You're looking rather marvellous.
Thanks.
This is such a powerful and important message that you're trying to get out there. Why do you think it's become so much more important over the past few years?
Well, I think there's more people caring for people with Alzheimer's, really. And there's a massive increase in people who've got it and living with it. And also, I think it's people going out there and actually talking about it and what their family's gone through. I think years ago, people just kept it, they was ashamed of it, about people with dementia and everything, so we just kept it hidden away. But people are getting the confidence to go out and speak about it, really. I mean, my dad's got dementia, so the whole reason why I've got into Alzheimer's research is because I'm really passionate about, well, I know what it's like to go care for somebody.
And what is it your charity actually does then?
So Alzheimer's Research UK, we kind of basically just fund research into Alzheimer's disease and all the other dementias as well. So, I mean, dementia is like the umbrella term, and there's so many different types of dementias, but we purely fund scientific research. We don't do any care side, that's Alzheimer's Society. We're 100% research, really. And we fund researchers in Manchester as well. So
when you say research, what research are you actually looking into at the moment then?
Well, just basically what's causing it. I mean, there's a million different ways, well, theories of what is causing dementia in this. I mean, one of the things Alzheimer's, well, initially when people looked at Alzheimer's, it was the plaques in the brain, and it kind of like blocked the communication between the different brain cells. But there's a theory now that that's a symptom of the disease. So we're trying to work out what's creating dementia and why it's affecting some people and not others and everything like that.
It's amazing. Now, you do a lot of collecting and charity work to make this people fully aware of this wonderful charity. Yeah. What is it you're currently doing at the moment then?
Well, it's basically Canal Street. All the drag queens down Canal Street, they've done Drag Down Dementia, which is basically they've been out and just started asking people for money, really, which is fantastic because that's been a massive thing for us because it's reaching out to like different communities who are going through it, you know. I mean, like I say, dementia touches everybody, and to have like the gay community on board and like especially the drag community, you know, they've raised so much money and awareness. It's brilliant.
How much have they raised so far then?
So far we've raised 2,000, and that was just for one weekend from World Alzheimer's Day, and they did a night as well. We did a drag night, didn't they?
Yes.
So it was, right. You know, that was just organising 4 days, and all the queens have been completely behind it.
What do you think is the initial and final outcome of sorting out this strange and rather weird disease?
Well, the only thing we can do is scientific research. You know, that's the only way we can beat it. I mean, like I say, for my dad's got dementia, and I know what it's like for a family to go through that. And it was last year, and I saw Dad decline quite significantly, and for me, I was so passionate. I thought there's something that's creating this. There's something out there. We don't know what it is, but why is it? There must be some reason why it's affecting some people, not the others. And the only way we'll find this out is through scientific research. So that's why I got on board with like fundraising.
And it doesn't just affect the person that's suffering with the disease, does it?
No, not at all. I mean, well, it does, but it's a whole family around. It's the people around them as well. I mean, there's 850,000 people that have got dementia in the UK, but I always say you've got to like multiply that by 4 or 5 because it affects the families, you know, and people who care for them. It's massive, you know, and like a lot of people go through it in silence. And I think the more people talk about it and talk about what their family's going through and then get out and start fundraising, I really passionate believe we'll be able to find a cure one day.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much for coming in today.
It's all right.
It's fantastic. Now, what we have been also doing this week, though, is we have been talking to some major celebrities that you might know from a movie called Back to the Future. The musical is about to come our way here, exclusive in Manchester. And because of that, we are going to be looking into the world of Back to the Future right now. So let's have a little look at this BT as we go in our DeLorean back to the future.
Christopher, Roger, Oh my God, great Scott. It's just fantastic to see you both here. It's two dogs in the same room, what can I say? How does it feel to see Back to the Future now become a musical, Christopher?
I just love it. I love it. We started thinking about the idea of doing it as a musical way back in 2004, and it took a really long time to first get the right person interested, who turned out to be Colin Ingram, and then to find the right, we always knew it was going to be Alan Silvestri and Glenn Ballard, because Bob Zemeckis had such a good time working with Glenn on Polar Express, and of course we both knew that, you know, there was no better person to do Back to the Future music than Alan Silvestri.
So I'm here. I'm with Ollie. You play Marty McFly. That is one hell of a role to take on in this musical. Do you feel scared?
I don't feel scared. I think I will forever be feeling thrilled to be here. And I just think that's going to completely overlap every emotion that I'm ever going to be feeling when going on, and before going on, and after coming off. You know, there's pressure. Yeah, I can be scared, but I'm so thrilled to be here. I can't believe that it's happening. And for me, it's a dream come true. So yeah, bring it on.
We had to cast many of the parts from videotapes. The casting director was over here in London. John Rando, the director, was in New York. Glenn Ballard and I were in Los Angeles. Alan Silvestri was in Northern California, and Bob Zemeckis too. And so we were all looking at these tapes, and almost unanimously in every case, we all looked at and felt the same way about, yeah, it's got to be this person, it's got to be that person.
You've got, big shoes to fill, yeah, and you may well get very rich from this. The film, the billions of pounds of franchise.
Right.
Were you a big fan?
Of the movie?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, of course, yeah. No, there's a slew of movies, I think, of that era that, for a person, I guess I was, let's just say old enough, but where the lead characters were people that were young men that I completely related to. If it wasn't Marty McFly, it was the kid in Karate Kid, it was Ralph Macchio, you know. There were many movies at that time where I felt like these young heroes that I could so relate to when I watched it. And you can see it with Ollie Dobson, who's playing Marty, that you can tell how he connected to it as well. So yeah, I loved the movie.
Did you ever think, though, back then, that it was going to last this long, let alone, the first movie, the second movie, the third movie, and now the musical, yeah?
Didn't have a clue. I didn't. It just keeps rolling along, and now we're taking a new road.
Absolutely fantastic. Moving on now to our next guest, and we are talking about perhaps a slightly serious subject, but a fantastic company that can deal with that subject. How are you? Welcome all the way from Integrity Wills and Probate. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
It's wonderful, isn't it, that people are talking about this and doing things about it these days?
Well, we found now, more recently, the way television's advertised and different funeral plans, etc., that people now are becoming more aware of making wills, dealing with power of attorneys, and obviously funeral plans.
And why is it so important that people do make sure they've got a will, make sure they've got a funeral plan in place?
If you don't make a will, there is no way that your intentions have been specified. By doing a will, you can outline what you want, how you want your house, for example. Do you want it to go to your husband? Do you want it to go to your children? With funeral plans, it's a prepaid thing where you pay and all the funeral arrangements are taken place, and then we deal with pretty much more recently is power of attorneys. A power of attorney is an instrument which allows you nominate somebody who is going to look after your wishes as you intended, and that's either in financial reasons or for medical reasons.
And if people don't have a will in place, of course, what happens then?
If they don't have a will in place, then there's a law, it's called intestacy rules. It doesn't mean the family members can automatically inherit whatever the family belongings are.
So what would you suggest then is most important when you're putting a will together? Do you go to a professional company, or is it something you can do yourself?
People can do their own will, but if they don't do it correctly, then the courts may not accept that as being a properly drawn will. We're a professional company. We do things in a manner, we explain to people everything about the will, what it entails, and we ensure that the will is drawn up correctly for them.
That's excellent. And what made you want to get into this particular line of work?
I've been in legal practice for over 25 years. I came out of legal practice and then we set up the company with my business partner Mark, and we decided this is something we should do. Ideally it was to make people aware of what they should do for themselves and for their family members.
Okay, so your company, how would people get hold of you if they wanted to depart?
We can get us on the internet, which is in www.integritywillsandprobate.co.uk. We're on Facebook, we're on LinkedIn, we're on all the social media platforms, and we're obviously on telephone. We've got to know a lot of people. We've been very, very successful in what we've done. The main part of our company is Integrity in its name, is we actually go out and help people. We'll come and see you, we'll sit down with you, your partner, and we'll say to you, and this is what we do. People like that.
I think a personal touch is always the better way, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's more comfortable, it's in their home, they have control over everything they want to say and do. We just outline to them, this is what you can do.
Thank you very much for your time, thank you. Right then, it is now time to wander over to our sponsors, everybody, and straight after this we're going to be bringing it onto our couch somebody that you might just recognise. In the meantime, here's a quick word from our sponsors. Well, we are now bringing onto our couch one very fantastic person that you maybe just recognise, everybody. He had a string of hits, years and years upon years upon years upon years upon years, a string of hits, and he is back. Everybody, it's our Junior Giscombe. How are you doing?
I'm very well, Belinda. How are you?
It's absolutely fantastic to see you.
Thank you.
You're bringing us a brand new song.
Brand new song.
Tell us about this wonderful new music.
It's about freedom. When the place where you can be free of doing what you want, what you love, what you like, what you're passionate of. And why I asked Junior to join. I think it's a very good combination with art and music. And this song is actually also about us as well. Junior, he passion of his music, I'm passion of my art. And I thought, that's great, it should work, and it worked.
It does work.
That's
Our viewers
what-
haven't seen this yet, but it is something worth waiting around to the end of the programme for. It's a different sound for you.
Very much so. I'd started out this year doing, from last year, doing a reggae album of songs of mine, which was hit records, and I just wanted to do them in reggae. So I went to Jamaica, got together with various different Jamaican artists and English artists, and decided to put the project together. And in so doing, the first single was Mama Used to Say, which I did with Luciano and also with Stephen Marley. A friend of mine introduced me to Natalia. And Natalia did some wonderful paintings for the video, and the video came out in February and it's doing very well. Natalia then turned around and told me the concept of this particular project, where it was going to be more like a team effort. So you have Chris and Rob involved who are doing editing, and they do the actual recording of the whole thing, the video of the whole thing. And my thing was to come up with music and come up with lyrics that would portray people breaking away, i.e., like yourself, you know that you want to be and you want to do. But sometimes because of the kind of environments that we all live in, we become constrained. So what we do is we just go along with the norm. But deep inside, you know that this is what I want to do. And the whole thing about breaking away is being able to do that. Not sit within the confines of somebody saying, you can't do that, you know.
I think it's fantastic. Let's have a look at the video and then we'll
Definitely.
talk some more. Let's have a look at this fantastic video. It goes just a little bit like this.
Maybe you see what I see. Maybe you see what I see. Maybe you see what I see. Did it shape you just like me? Circles in a rainbow high. Tells the story, not a lie. At the door, I hold me tight, wondering, should I fight? Shadows moving ever closer. Is this my closure? 'Cause in my dream, there's a bird flying free, undisturbed. Silly me, procrastinating on what I'd like it to be. Here comes truth to take my freedom away. But I'm not alone. No, I'm not alone. Just can't justify my anger. Fools rush in and forget they're free. Wish that I could just be. Instead, the fate I see looks bleak to me. Break away. Fill your heart with love and laughter. Break away. See your light shining bright on the horizon. Break away from the chains that hold you back from who you are. Yeah, break away is a state of mind that possesses beauty of every kind. In my mind, blown apart, thoughts of you in my heart. I couldn't help but go under. I didn't wanna understand. I feel the pressure taking over. It's done by my own hand. Wanna feel the warm weather on my face. A paragon lost up in space. If I could, I would be the very best that I could be. I won't go. Break away. Fill your heart with love and laughter. Break away. See your light shining bright on the horizon. Break away from the chains that hold you back from who you are. Break away is a state of mind that possesses beauty of every kind. Break
now you understand what we're talking about. It isn't just a music video, it's a very artistic form, isn't it?
Very artistic form. I think it's something that's fresh and new, because a lot of the time you watch, as you know, the videos come out through various different artists and stuff like this, and then they do it with, say, an artist or whatever else, and you can see that the two don't truly marry. It's like the song's one thing and the art's another. Whereas with this project, because it's like a team effort, it's more about ensuring that all parts work together, right? So that then you're giving one vision to people over the whole thing, with an emphasis, as I said, of being free enough to break away from whatever you're in that you know within yourself you shouldn't be in.
No, and you're looking very gorgeous and glamorous. Very gorgeous and glamorous throughout the whole thing. Where was it filmed?
Oh, that was down to these guys over there. You can't see them. You can't see them. But it was done in Manchester. But the guys over there, they could tell you where exactly, because I was terrible. My part was done in the back of somebody's hotel,
right?
And it was a room, and they made up the room like if it was a prison,
right?
And Rob and Chris have edited and you know, did all the photography for it. It was just blinding.
It is blind. Yeah,
blinding.
It's really very, very good.
Yeah.
But so, are you doing something again together then, do you think?
Oh, we may have some ideas.
We
Yeah,
may
why
have some
not?
more
Because
ideas.
it's really nice to work with Junior. So it was my pleasure to work with him.
Where can people get this song?
Look, at the present moment, what we're going to be doing is putting it up on social media and just getting a vibe for it. And let's see how many people are going to go for this kind of thing. And then afterwards, I have my own label.
Yeah.
So the track will most probably come out on my own label, right? Maybe in a month's time, once we've put it out on social media, got people involved in it, and what you need to do.
It's been fascinating speaking to both of you. Thank you so much for coming in
today.
Thank you. Well, that's unfortunately all we've got time for on this week's episode of Your Manchester. Make sure you click on the dingle dongle and make sure you all subscribe. And we'll see you all again next week, only on Your Manchester.